get in here and ride the lightning.
So me and Jenna and her mom and dad built cabinets above our boxes that are cabinets above our cabinets.
You built cabinets for your cabinets?
Week. There's like, Jenna saw this thing on the Instagrams, and she was like, I want that. And what it is, they took all the cabinets apart and sanded them down and repainted them and built these boxes, took all the molding off top of the cabinets, built these boxes on top of them.
Anyway, should we get rolling?
And this is
this a bar?
This is what I did last week.
Yeah.
Is we stripped and painted
You stripped?
the cabinets.
You were naked?
Yes. Yeah. Went to Lowe's 400,000 times. I should have bought stock in Lowe's.
You should have.
Yeah. Instead I bought NVIDIA.
Yeah, that's not going to work out for you on Monday.
It's going to work out. I'm going to have that.
When'd you buy it? What'd you buy it at?
I bought it 6 times. I've made $500 on it already.
What'd you buy it at?
It was like 1,000, right at 1,000. Oh, what did you buy it at? Like $4?
No, I bought it at
$5 a share.
500.
500 a share.
See, I did the thing.
You got it something weird.
I got it at $197.
God.
Did you really?
But I only bought one stock because this is where my wife laughs and hates me.
One share.
Well, because about a year, maybe around a year, a little over a year ago, I was watching some Instagram video and someone was like, hey, so what you need to do is follow Nancy Pelosi because of all her amazing trade skills,
deals, yeah.
or AKA inside trader deals.
Yeah.
She was like, she just bought a ton of stock in NVIDIA, and you probably should too because she never misses.
Yeah.
Or if she does, it's very, very rare. And so I was like, okay, just for funsies, I'm going to buy it and follow it. And then literally about a year goes by, and all of a sudden, and I don't even really mess with stocks very much. Someone was like, oh, NVIDIA's like almost $1,000 a share. I was like, what? And I looked.
And it split.
Yeah.
It's splitting on Monday, 10 to 1.
10 to 1. I hope I'm going to retire.
Do you always try to buy stocks at the height?
He has this new strategy.
Dude, I bought like
David
I was
goes
doing
against the grain.
I was rough there for a while. I've learned it now though. I'm doing better at it. But when I first started out trading a little bit, like I bought Krispy Kreme just because I thought that would be a good idea. Because they announced that they're going in all McDonald's.
There it is.
And it jumped up. I bought it like 15. It jumped up to 17 within a day. And I'm like, I'm a god at this. I know donuts and stocks.
I'm sorry, did you say 15 to 17?
Yeah, $15 to 17. Huh?
Not 15 to 17.
No,
it went up
15 to
$2
17. $2 a share. So,
ball.
I mean, I made, a couple $100 right there.
Yeah.
And I was like, hell yeah. And then it dropped like 13, and now it's like 10. But I sold it at like 15 again.
And then Dolly Parton was starting
and Dolly Parton like brought like donuts out to her boobs or something. I don't know.
What?
She's putting donuts on her boobs.
Oh.
Or they're making Dolly Parton boob donuts.
Oh, yeah, that's how you sell donuts.
Yeah. They're like the cream-filled ones, but
Wow.
this is going sideways,
This is
isn't
so
it?
south.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Twangtown. I am your host, David Tolliver, and that is
And I am Colt Mirsky.
Tall Brewski.
And today we have with us Jon Kahn.
Jon Kahn.
Hiya, fellas.
Do you feel broken in yet?
Not really.
Hey, so
John's had a long day. He's already tired of us.
hey, we've been in the studio today. We did a couple songs together.
We did.
We did.
We did.
Yeah.
They're sounding pretty good.
I listened to some of yours and made fun of your singing.
You did.
And then
We're rolling. We're rolling right now.
This is it.
Yeah.
Really? You just gonna break the fourth wall right now?
I'm just.
Aren't you a movie guy?
Well, no, that's why it was unclear what was happening.
You don't ever need to know what's happening for it to happen. Not.
I'll follow your guys' lead.
Yeah.
Easy now, Big Chief. I don't know, Daddy Bear. Hey, John, what's going on with you, Bob?
Well, just coming in from L.A.
Oh, nice.
Doing a little,
Louisiana.
Did a couple of songs today. Wrote one.
He got me on that one.
Kind of part business, part music stuff. Doing a Sirius XM special.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Cole, you're coming down tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Oh,
Yes.
that's cool. Colt could come down into it. It's fine.
You can come too.
No, I didn't.
see.
I didn't want to invite. That's fine.
No, we'll do. We're
Well, see, I'm kind of a big deal, David. I have to go to these important events.
Was it a big deal?
Well, just kind of.
You're tall.
Yeah.
Tall deal.
It's as big as I get.
Of a tall deal.
Tall Brewski deal.
Tall Brewski.
You guys have a thing.
Yeah.
going
So
on.
David and I did this golf tournament last fall, and we go up to this one hole where all these women's were just
Women's.
Women's?
What are
all these
women's?
women were passing out shots, and so they're already pretty buzzed by the time we got there, and they're like, "Oh, what's your name?" I'm like, "Hey, I'm Colt Mirsky," and they're like, "Oh, Tall Brewski." They literally thought that's what I said my name was.
What did you just
And
say?
David lost his
I
life.
was like, that's the most amazing thing ever
Yeah.
right there. Tall Brewski. So
That's sticking.
yeah, it's stuck.
So that's how David introduces me after I introduce myself.
Excellent. I'll do that tomorrow.
Please do.
Where were you made?
I was made in L.A.
You were made in L.A. You're native L.A. guy.
Native L.A. I like to think I'm one of the cool ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the people aren't.
You're cool to us.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
I love
I
you.
appreciate you guys being very welcoming to
You're
me.
one of my
course.
favorite people. I give you a lot of shit, but you are one of my favorite people.
I mean, Colt has introduced me to a lot of people here from the get-go.
sorry.
You introduced me to David. And
Yeah,
I'm not
sorry.
really sure whether to thank you for that or not at this point. The
I am
verdict's
a
still in.
wonderful person.
Yeah, you are. You are.
I have a great morals. I have a great body.
You do have
It's
a great body.
hidden under some fat, but
do.
we're
I try not
taking
to be
care of that.
I try not to be superficial, but when I look at you,
Yeah.
I do feel a certain way.
Yeah, you like me more than a friend, don't you?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I
Do you
don't
get a
know.
fat Elvis when you think about me?
I just know I have questions
So
about myself.
you were born in L.A. What did you always want to do something in music or in film or what was you?
Well, I started in college. I actually wrote something that got produced. You guys remember the Tales from the Crypt?
Yeah, I used to scare the shit out of me.
I used to watch it all the time as a
Crypt
kid
Keeper?
and freak
Yeah.
myself
Come on,
out.
dude.
So
yeah,
I wrote one of those when I was in college, and that was sort of my ticket into film school.
you wrote an episode of
Tales from the Crypt.
which episode?
It was called Fitting Punishment.
Okay.
It was about a mortician who kills his nephew because he doesn't want to pay the bills for him.
Okay.
Not really my style. I'm a nicer guy than that, but it was.
But you went there.
I went there.
Yeah.
And it got made, and that was sort of my ticket into film school. And then I did a short film that got kind of accomplished everything a short film is supposed to do.
Yeah.
But I had a little help from Mel Gibson.
What was this short
Yeah.
film?
It was called the Chili. You would like it. It was called the Chili Con Carne Club, and it was about a place where men go and they get dumped by women.
Okay.
And it's like it's like a prison in your mind. It's like a place where you think guys want to be. All they do is bowl and drink and smoke
Yeah.
cigars. And like the main character keeps getting thrown in and out of this imaginary place every time he blows it with his girlfriend in real life. So I was talking to my brother. I was like, we only show this one guy coming in and out of this prison the whole
Yeah.
movie. Who's the most unlikely guy to get dumped that we know? And he goes, what if we got Mel?
Mel Gibson, of course.
And so my brother was actually doing Lethal Weapon at the time.
What?
And
Wait, what?
yeah, he was doing Lethal Weapon 3. He did all 3 Lethal Weapons, and he was doing the third one, and he pitched him the idea. And Mel said, yeah, I'll come do it.
Wow.
So we put him in a tank top and boxer shorts, gave him a cigar. And
Yeah.
Chili Con Carne Club?
Yeah.
Can I find this thing?
I don't know. I have it somewhere.
God,
but
you got to send this to me somehow.
It was a great calling card, and that's how I got into filmmaking and got signed and all that stuff.
You went to school for what now?
I went to school for directing.
Where did you go?
That was the American Film Institute.
Okay.
So I hadn't played any music at that time. I didn't start playing music till I was like 24.
Yeah.
We pull the mic up just a little closer.
Yeah.
Pull it real.
Pull the whole stand towards
Pull it
you.
gentle. Use both
How about
hands.
if I just stand? How's that better?
Yeah.
Yeah, there
We
go.
can hear you.
Hey, there's Jon Kahn.
John Kahn.
Yeah. So I ended up directing a movie called. I started writing, just teaching myself how to play.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of a knack for it, and I directed a movie called Girl with Dominique Swain and Selma Blair and Portia de Rossi, and it was kind of a smaller budget movie,
Yeah.
but it was music related.
Yeah.
So they said I played them a few songs, and they said we'll take them. So that's how I kind of got started.
Okay.
And what else? Then I feel like I'm talking too much about myself, but I guess I'm the guest.
That's why
right?
you're here.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
that's right.
yeah, I want to know the interspersed workings of the LA film scene and what goes on and how. I mean, we have. It's just like I guess what people have in their minds about making up songs and stuff like that outside of Nashville and.
Well, it's a much different kind of writing.
Yeah.
And I learn every time I come here
Okay.
from you guys. And it's you guys start with lyrics,
Yeah.
and I have to start with a melody and a chord progression.
Well, some people will start with just the melody
Yeah.
and then throw something around it. But
There, I came from that kind of Wallflowers. Wallflowers. Those guys were friends of mine. My first demo I ever made, those guys were the backing band.
really,
Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
and so it was kind of this singer song. I kind of had a little bit
Mel
of Forrest
Gibson was in my short story, and he did the Wallflowers in my backup band.
I've definitely had a little bit of a Forrest Gumpy kind of life, but I came from that singer songwriter kind of school where if the lyrics make sense to you, that was always my my yardstick.
Yeah.
If I can explain it, then that's cool.
Yeah.
But that didn't work here in Nashville.
It's
Right.
I mean, there's a tad bit of that in some writing. I like to do that. I like to use a little metaphor, similes, shit like that. But
I haven't noticed that.
yeah, I hate him actually. I can't stand him.
It's okay.
Just never have him back.
Never have him back?
Like he's stupid.
Should we just kick him out of the
He's
building?
so dumb. Yeah, just out of the building.
Should I
Anyway,
get wrong?
no, man, you're fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
We all have headphones on, so when you whisper, we all still hear.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. No, how would you start out writing a film? How do you start out doing that? How long does that take?
Well, the first one I did, I got signed by CA as a writer director out of film school, and because of the short film, because it was fairly successful, I could have said I want to write about a podcast that's about nothing, and they would have said go do it.
Yeah.
And so I went into Imagine Films, which is Ron Howard's company,
Yeah.
and said I dated this actress.
What was the actor's name?
No, I can't tell you that.
Oh,
Do
come
I know
on.
it?
I can't
Do I know it?
I can't do
Have
it.
we talked about this
I
before?
can't do it because the story doesn't end well, but it kind of loops around. And it was about an actress. I grew up playing tennis and studying, and that's what I knew. I was pretty sheltered, and she was, emancipated at 16.
Oh, wow.
She smoked, she drank, she might have been experimental in some ways.
Yeah.
Things that I
Yeah.
easy, guys,
Yeah,
easy,
experimental.
I like where this movie's going.
Yeah,
So-
watch this movie.
All right, take it easy. All right, so, all right, let's pull it together. Tolliver, come on, man. So, long story short, I gravitated toward her because that's what I needed, and it kind of destroyed my family in the craziest, funny way. And of course, what seemed like years was a 3-month relationship.
Wow.
And anyway, so I pitched it, and I said I want to write about this thing, and they said go do it.
Yeah,
And so so I wrote. It took me about 3 months.
3 months.
And what was the name of this movie again?
It was called Meet You in the Garage.
Yeah.
And it actually didn't get made, but what happened is when a script, I don't know if they do this with songs. I guess they do. Do you guys release songs if you don't make them to other people? So Imagine didn't end up making the movie, but I had a good relationship with them, so they released it back to me and said, "Go shop it."
Oh no, Curb! They'll publishers just hang on.
They'll just hang on
Yeah,
to
they'll
it.
hang on.
Okay,
to it.
something
They're not
happens.
giving it back to you.
Colt,
No.
you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Say 95% of the companies are just going to hang on to it.
Yeah, they're not going to
Yeah.
let that go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only time that would probably really happen is if like a company's going under and they know it, and maybe the people who work there are cool. They'd be like, "Why don't you just go ahead and take these back?"
Got
You
it.
know,
Got
or
it.
if it's not worth anything, which
Well, they.
I mean, I'm sure your movie was great and all.
No, it's good. Well, it
Yeah.
got. Here, should I tell this story? Maybe I'll tell this
Yes,
story.
please tell the story.
All right, this is you want to know what Hollywood's like?
Yes.
All right,
If
I'll
it's
I'd
uncomfortable
love
while
to.
you tell it, then you're doing the right thing.
Yes, I am puckered up right now, waiting for it with bated breasts.
I made. I bated breasts.
yeah, I don't know. That's not a thing.
It is now. It is now.
Write that down, kids.
It's a movie I watched too.
I might have to leave some names out of this, but my agent at the time, so they give you back the script and they say go try to sell it. So you put the script back on the market, and they go out with it on the town, just like trying to shop it. And after 3 days, it doesn't sell. So I call my agent, who months before, when I was coming out of film school, said, we're gonna take care of your life.
Yeah.
And after 3 days of the script not selling, they said, we don't like it. Nobody thinks it's funny. You're going to have to rewrite it.
Wow.
I'm like 26.
Yeah.
And about a week later, I get a call from a This is where I got to keep the names quiet, which is going to irritate you. But whatever.
It's going to wear me out.
The biggest female movie star in the world at that time. And she called me at home and she goes, I just read your script because I got it to her through a friend of mine who knew her. And she goes, this is the best romantic comedy I've read since I did.
Wait for it.
No, I didn't. No, I that was going to blow.
Come on,
I was
man.
If we guess it, will you?
Yeah.
You won't get it.
Julia Roberts, Pretty Woman.
Let me just say this. At that
That wasn't
time,
it.
it was as big as that. This actress. So anyway,
Cameron Diaz, The Mask.
she wants to bigger. She goes, I want to produce the movie for you.
Okay.
So she sends it. No,
To-
this did not age well. She sends it to Harvey Weinstein.
Oh.
At that time, well, somebody knew, but nobody.
Sure,
It wasn't
sure.
in the news. And next thing I know, I'm in New York and I'm meeting with her and him, and they say, "Welcome to Miramax. You're going to make your movie."
Wow.
And it didn't happen. Like, I rewrote it. They paid me to rewrite it. Everybody's happy with it, and it didn't happen. And I just kept getting these weird excuses as to why. And as it turns out, the girl that the movie was about
Mm-hmm.
ended up dating one of my agents.
Oh.
So
Man.
so she caught wind of it and didn't want it getting made and all that stuff. So I ended up doing a different movie called Girl, the one I told you guys about.
Gotcha.
And
You left a lot of. Let's go back to the names of the people.
can't do it. I'd like to do
Give us. It rhymes with.
it rhymes.
It rhymes with Farren Bone.
No.
No, I don't. Trying here. Sharon Stone. Come on, dude. Farren Bone.
It
Yeah.
rhymes with bated breasts.
Bated breasts.
Anything coming to mind?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
Is this the kind of stuff you're looking for on this podcast?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You haven't listened to our podcast, have you?
I've listened to clips of it on it.
You had one job on your flight
Yeah.
from LA to here.
I had no internet on the flight.
You could have downloaded
can
them all
download
before
the
you
podcast.
left. Yeah.
All right.
And all your streaming services.
Well, I'll be on next week, right? So I can do it in between.
It comes out
No,
tomorrow.
It does come out tomorrow.
This comes out tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
And we're not editing it either.
Okay.
Unless you tell us the
I
name.
haven't said
Tell us
anything.
the names of the people and we'll edit those out. Wink.
Well,
Wink.
I'm trying to think of like how do I protect the names? But let me put it this way: the actress that this was about, she and I became friends. We stayed friends even despite that.
Did you all do stuff together?
Even afterward?
Did you hug laying down at all?
Did we hug laying down?
Yeah.
Is the question?
Yeah.
Whilst laying down.
Yeah.
Yeah. We may have done that.
The horizontal mambo.
Okay. Let me get back to my story. So, ironically, she became very responsible for a lot of what I did in music
Okay.
because she ended up laying down, what did you say? Horizontally?
Horizontally.
She ended up dating somebody that was a big rock guy.
Who's that?
That I can't tell you either.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, but because then you can backtrack and do all
Was
this
he in a band?
stuff. Yeah, he was in a big band.
Do I know this band?
Yes. You can put it together after
What
the
if
fact.
I said the word?
You said it, we'll edit it out.
Okay.
So, long story short, she says, you got to send me your music. And I had made it after the movie. I got such a good response to the songs that I was like, maybe I'll make a real CD at
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
And again, I went back to the Wallflowers. Rami Jaffe, who's the keyboard player now for the Foo Fighters, I asked him to play Hammond on it. And he goes, who's producing? I didn't even know what a producer did
Yeah.
Yeah.
in music. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't have one. He goes, can I do it? So I made this record and it was pretty good. So she said, he wants to hear it, the rock guy.
The Rock. What was his name again? You said it a minute ago.
And
Can you hum a melody from one of their most famous songs?
you would know it.
Oh,
Instantly. You
I
would know
was
instantly.
killing me not to do it right now.
And
Do you know?
Oh yeah,
Okay, I don't.
yeah.
I'm in the dark.
thank you.
Oh, I know. I'm
Okay.
protecting you right now.
I appreciate that. I did.
David tries like
With
to act
my
like he's a bad
arms.
friend, but he's actually
I'm
He
protecting
is a
my
good guy.
my arms like this. I'm protecting you.
Okay. Anyway, so all right.
John hates everybody in this room.
Now I'm rattled. Anyway, long story short, he heard my music, and and I ended up opening for them at Staples Center.
Well, now
in
you've
LA,
given it away.
No, not really.
Everybody's going to Google.
Yeah, but then
Staples
we have
Center,
to backtrack
1990. What years?
It was like in the 2000s.
Dude,
and
everybody knows what I had for breakfast 2 days ago.
that's because you're always talking about it.
Yeah, I love my food. It's always Oreo Blizzards.
Right. Or
Always.
Doritos.
Or Doritos.
Yeah.
Strawberries.
Strawberry. I did have a strawberry and blackberry, spinach, chia seed, bee pollen, honey smoothie this morning. Jenna makes me whatever.
What does that accomplish when the rest of the day is scattered with a bunch of crap?
Like blizzards.
Well, at least
Like
my
blizzards.
morning wasn't scattered with crap.
That's a good point.
You know,
Yeah.
you start the day on a good note and the day ends on a blizzard.
Are you not doing athletic greens anymore?
I am every morning.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. They're good. I feel a lot better. I got a lot more energy.
Good.
It's weird.
Yeah.
If I would do all the right things, I'd probably be real fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I had to hurry this morning.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, while you guys were talking about what you had to eat today, I was thinking about what we might need to edit out from earlier. I think we might be okay.
We're going to be fine, dude.
We're good.
All right.
You
Don't
didn't drop
worry
any
about
names
it.
or
You
hints.
didn't do anything. You didn't say that it was this person.
If I haven't figured it out, then you should be good.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Because he's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Like licking windows dumb.
That's pretty dumb.
So you started, you were like, hey, man, I'm going to Forrest Gump some music too. And this
Yeah.
guy was like, hey, come on tour with me.
Yeah, he basically said that. And
You know how that doesn't happen?
like I said,
ever-
my life has been sort of like, it took me a while to sort of understand that, my life has been so crazy up and down
Yeah.
but it's sort of the storyline of it.
Well, dude, you're so, I mean, and I say this in the most respectful way possible. You're an awesome guy.
Oh, thanks.
And I was trying to build it up. I was going to say something
Okay.
bad, but I didn't. No, dude,
Keep rolling with it. Keep
you're a
rolling with it.
genuine guy, and it comes across as so. And I think people are just drawn to you because of that. And you're a talented cat, and you're very twitchy.
There it is.
Yeah,
Really, that
Like that-
that was the buildup?
yeah.
he couldn't help
like,
himself.
Like I'm twitchy too, and you're like me. We're twitchies.
Are we?
Yeah, we
does that
twitch. We can't sit still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, we got a lot going on.
yeah, we do. A
I
lot
think
of
yours
lot
is ADD related. Mine is just kind of what am I going to do next kind of thing.
completely.
Yeah.
AD. I wish I could harness my energy
Yeah.
for like the half an hour that I could do this a day.
Yeah.
When did you start coming to Nashville?
I came back and I started when I first met you, Colt. It was back Drew Alexander days.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
was and
When was that?
like over 12 years ago.
Okay.
Something like that.
yeah.
And I didn't know anything. Like I knew Benson.
Yeah,
Right.
And the first write I ever got, I didn't Google anybody, I didn't look up anybody because I'm like, you know what I didn't think it would serve me,
Yeah.
which is really probably not the smartest thing in retrospect. but the first room I got in with was Doug Johnson.
Oh, okay.
And like I didn't know,
Yeah.
and people again the Forrest Gumpy kind of part of it. People were like, "Who you writing with?" I'm like, "Doug Johnson." They're like, "You're writing with Doug Johnson?" I'm like, "Yeah, is it everybody?"
And you got steamrolled. Did you get steamrolled?
No, we actually ended up writing. We actually wrote a couple of good songs there. I brought in, like, I always think it's my responsibility, being an outsider, to bring in an idea to
Yeah.
the room, or at least a couple ideas.
that's the way every co-write should be.
Yeah.
Everyone should have an idea.
You didn't bring in anything. The couple that we
I
did.
have not because
Right.
yours are so good,
Oh, look at that!
Yeah.
See what
See?
I did there?
and I
Set it
save
up.
all my good ones for Doug Johnson.
There you go. But so I came back, and it's funny. And I'd written a song a long time ago called "American Heart,"
Yeah.
which became kind of a little bit of a conservative anthem in the political world.
Right.
And I wanted to have a Nashville production, and somebody knew Jeffrey Steele.
Mm.
And so,
The most American person ever.
very much so.
Yeah.
He is all about freedom.
He was born wrapped in an American flag, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so he ended up producing the song. And, I learned a lot about how you guys record
Yeah.
because, I flew in for it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, okay, why don't you sing a vocal? And I sang a couple of takes. I go, all right, you can cruise back to your hotel room. And I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, "Done? Are we going to like finesse it? He goes, no, we got it.
Yeah, we got it.
We got it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
We'll fly it.
And
Yeah,
it's fine.
And so, but I didn't come back for like 10 years.
Wow.
It wasn't.
It jaded you that much.
No,
Jeffrey jaded you.
I got lost in my political stuff that I do, and then I had the inkling to come back and start working on the artistic part of me, and that's when I met David, because Colt,
Yes.
you hooked us up. Me,
Yeah.
Aren't you so happy?
But it was
about
another one of those rights where I didn't understand it was Kyle Jacobs
Yeah.
and you, and
Oh boy.
that? Yeah.
and
We swarmed his brain.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, dude. You can talk about it.
I hadn't heard of David, but I had heard of Kyle. I'm just kidding.
It's
I'm
fine.
joking. I'm joking.
It's
I'm joking.
fine.
No, but again, I told people again, and I was sort of coming in here a little bit naive. And they said, "Who are you writing with?" I said, "David Tolliver and Kyle Jacobs." And they're like, "Man, oh man," and
You're in for trouble.
well, I heard that too. and I walk in the room. It was like 10:30, 11.
Yeah.
And these guys cruise in with a bottle of vodka and orange juice, and I was hammered by 11:30.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that
remember
day.
that?
Yeah.
I walked in
Yeah.
to say hi, and y'all were on a whole other level.
Yeah.
I saw it, and I was just like, when in Rome.
Yeah.
He didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, well, I did ultimately because I got hammered, and so we ended up writing a song, and it's a cool thing.
It was a good day, man.
Yeah.
I remember that day very well, and it was fun. We had a lot of laughs.
Yeah, and Kyle,
Just seeing your eyes going. You're like, is this what I'm supposed to do? I don't know.
Is this
Are these guys
normal?
screwing with me?
yeah.
Because I think you kept saying, "Are you guys screwing with me?"
Well, it's funny because Kyle was really kind, and I think he kind of knew I was a little bit of a fish out of water, and I didn't quite know what to make of all of it. And again, the songs that I write are usually my own songs, so I'm not used to co-writing. And he just had a lot of he kind of took me aside at the end and said a lot of cool things to me, and I never forgot it.
That was Kyle.
That was Kyle. He was always more concerned with how you are, if you're okay, what you're doing, than he was with himself, and that's what made him a great person. Miss him, man.
Yeah.
I started to call him.
Did you really?
Like a couple weeks ago? Freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because something happened. I'm like, I should call. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't to pick up my phone and start to dial it, but in my brain for a split second, I was like, I should call Kyle and ask him about. Like, God damn it.
He seemed like he affected a lot of people because even that little mini story I told you, like you said, Colt, he had that impact on a lot of people.
Sure.
From what I've heard.
Oh yeah, hundreds, thousands of people.
Yeah. What? Let's talk about you touched on it a little bit. I mean, you're involved in something that a lot of people know about.
Right.
A lot of some people don't know how to find it.
Adult films.
Yeah,
Is that
adult
where you're going?
films. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
The ketamine files.
It was an avenue of my life I don't talk about very much.
I mean, you were in LA.
And,
No, you work with Breitbart.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tell us about Breitbart and your role there.
yeah.
So it was one of those things that started where, when I was, in LA and in film and music, that you couldn't talk about your politics there.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine, he's actually now lives out in Nashville, a guitar player, he was in my band at one point. He said, there's this group in LA that you should be a part of. And it was called Friends of Abe, which means Friends of Abe Lincoln. And it was started by Gary Sinise. And all it was a group. It was like a fellowship. Have you heard of this?
Yes, I have. You
And-
said Gary's name. That jogged my memory.
You went
Yeah.
Lieutenant Dan after a Forrest Gump reference.
Wow. Full circle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
He did that on purpose. He
Yeah.
was setting up the whole storyline.
Film guy.
I'm orchestrating this entire
Yeah.
podcast, and you guys don't even realize.
He's in for the long plays.
This is Matrix shit going on right now, man.
But anyway, so you had to be. So basically, it was a fellowship for anybody in film, music, actors, directors, whatever, that felt like they didn't have a safe place to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I at the time I was, I'll get into the story, but so you have to be invited to a lunch, and it's like 50 people, and it was right before Obama got elected, and they went around the square table, and everybody was talking, all these people, and they were whining like you can't believe, I can't do this, I can't do that. And I'm like looking at my watch going, but it's going to be 2.5 hours by the time it gets to me.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, man, oh man, if this is a fellowship,
Yeah.
I got complainers in my family, I'll just go home, So it finally gets to me, and I cracked a joke, and I forgot what it was, but at the end of it, this guy in the corner holding a laptop and a John McCain hat came over and said, do you want to write for this new site? And it was Andrew Breitbart.
Wow.
And I said, not under my real name. And he goes, you don't have to. He goes, what do you want to write? I said, well, something funny, hopefully. And he goes, yeah, we need funny on our side. And I said, this is going to go over well. What if I date liberal women on purpose and write about it?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And this is an actual thing.
You really did this.
I went on like 4 or 5 dates. Like, I wasn't like targeting anybody, but when you go out on dates in LA, that's all there is.
Sure.
So if there was in the premise was I had to wait until halfway through the date to tell them that I leaned to the right or I was conservative. So I wrote like, I did shop one time and I went to like the University of Spiritual Psychology to find a date.
Wow.
Which you're not going to find a lot of conservatives there. But
or shaving pits.
Right, exactly. And I learned a lot about myself and I grew as a person. Now, but so I embellished half of it. Like, it was all in the spirit of just good fun. And like, they sort of became wildly popular. I only wrote like 4 or 5 of them.
No.
And then after one of them, I was at a barbecue in Venice and I was talking to this girl and she found out I was conservative and she just started foaming at the mouth. Like I was literally dodging spit particles when she was talking. And I finally looked at her. I said, don't you love this country? She goes, no. And I got in my car, I drove home. I called Andrew Breitbart.
Yeah.
And I said, they don't like the country. And he goes, yes. Like finally you get it.
Yeah.
And so that's when I went home. I sat at the piano, which I don't play very well, and wrote American Heart.
Huh. Wow.
And in that song, this is about 2010, the Tea Party kind of movement started. And Andrew said to me, do you want to come play that song at a tea party? I go, what's a tea party? He goes, I don't know. and so, that was like the first one. And so he spoke at it and I wore a hat and sunglasses using the fake pen name because I wrote about it on the site.
Right.
And so it turned into a thing where we would go from political event to political event and he would introduce me as sort of a representation of conservatives. There are conservatives out in LA. They just have to be underground. And here's an example. He can't be here with his real name. And then I got a call from the Wall Street Journal and they said, we want to do a front page article about you. But, with that etch drawing, there's like a little drawing, which I didn't know in the political thing there was a lot of status. And they're like, you got the etch, they're offering you the etch drawing? I'm like, isn't everybody getting that?
Yeah.
And, but they had a catch. They said, you got to give us your real name and you have to give us the name of a liberal who you're working with currently in Hollywood who doesn't know you're conservative.
Wow.
And at that time, I just said, you know what? That's enough. And I was writing every lyric on an album that was being produced by Walter Afanasieff, who produced Josh Groban, Kelly Clarkson, Barbra Streisand, all these huge guys. Mm-hmm. I had sat in a room with him for a year.
Oh, wow.
I'd spent a couple of years trying to get to work with him.
Right.
Then I got in the room and was writing all these songs with this pop artist and listened to him talk about how all Republicans were racist, how awful we were. And I said, 100%, right? And so I just gave him, I said, here's Walter's number. And I've seen him once since I did that.
Oh, how'd that go?
And, it was fascinating because I was sitting across from him. I guess we can keep this in. Yeah. I was sitting across from him, in his kitchen and he was looking at me. And I remember the expression on his face because he was so confused.
Yeah.
And he said,
he's like, I like you.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
He was like, you're smart and funny.
Yeah.
Like, how could you be this guy?
Right.
And
that's the thing that drives me crazy about the whole divide is if you just listen to each other and talk. You were with this guy for a year and he liked you a lot.
We had a really great relationship.
Yeah. And it's like, you liked me before you knew.
Yeah. Right.
So why would you like me now? Because It's the same thing if flipped the other way.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
I have a lot of friends that are not like-minded like me, but I like them as people.
Oh, yeah.
I don't agree with them on certain things.
Some of my best friends are liberal.
Yeah.
But you don't have to agree with everybody
You
on
don't.
everything.
No.
And that's okay, too.
Yeah.
That's what makes the country great.
That's what makes
is
us
you
all
don't
individualistic.
Have to agree.
Yes.
It's, I never wrote a song with him again after that.
He couldn't take it.
And then, I came out on the cover of the Wall Street Journal, so that was kind of cool. And then I got into, I just started doing more and more at Breitbart after Andrew passed away 12 years ago, and kind of been at the epicenter of all this history.
Yeah.
And then just started coming back to Nashville the last couple of years. And that's where I met you and Kyle, and then Michael Farren, who I've done a lot with, who I love.
Right.
Another Colt introduction.
Yeah.
And, so that's kind of where I'm at.
Nice, man. It's nice to hear stories like that.
Yeah.
It's just, it makes me happy.
Well, it's like I said, it's, like one time I always tell this story. I was, I had all these agents and lawyers when I was in film, and I was starting to do music, and I knew I had a knack for it. But at some point I said, you know what, I'm going to start doing this stuff myself. So I would get in the rooms with, music people that put songs into film and music. And I was sitting with this one woman, and I was, I don't know, probably 35. And she was like, she was 50, and she seemed like, at that age when you're 35 or younger, 50 seems like a matriarch,
Right.
Yeah.
And she was British, and she had this really cool demeanor. And she was like, so I got myself in the room and I told her this. She goes, so tell me your story. And at that time I was really down and out, and, because of the ups and downs, so I went through all my stuff, film school and Staples Center and this and that and movies. And when I was telling her the story, inside I was kind of dying, and I was just going, man, I can't believe that I have to, tell these stories and this and that. And when I was done, she kind of leaned back and she took a beat and she said, what an amazing life. And it changed me forever.
Wow.
That one comment. And I actually wrote her 20 years later, whatever, like in the last year, and said, sometimes you don't realize what the words are that you have, the effect it has on people. And I just said, I want you to know that you said something that changed my life. And she's back in London now, and it floored her that I even reached. She had no idea.
Wow. That's awesome.
But all it takes is just a little bit of a twist.
Just like, people's perception. And I started looking at this Forrest Gump kind of life, going, you know what? Things didn't turn out exactly how I thought they were going to be.
Right.
But it's the journey.
That's almost when your life, like, I don't want to say starts, but it's like you start enjoying life more.
100%. Because you start collecting. To me, it's like, each thing's a new chapter. Like this last couple of years in Nashville is a new chapter.
Yeah.
Sitting there, like we did a demo with Joe Leathers today. Mm-hmm. Like these guys are just having the time. I mean, I'm in there going, this is so awesome.
Yeah.
Like I'm so grateful to be there. And I just love every minute of it now.
Well, they're not all like that. I mean, some people are still uptight and jaded.
Right.
But, and it's the same thing. I can look back on my career and be like, well, this should have happened, this should have happened, this should have happened. And I don't look at what I actually did.
Right, exactly.
Played arenas, played, huge amphitheaters.
Most people would kill to do half of
played
what
for
you
100,000 people in Wisconsin one time.
Right.
I mean, good Lord. Was on the radio. I still have songs getting on the radio. Yeah. It's like, oh, but this did no. What a beautiful life.
Yeah, 100%.
What a beautiful life that we've had.
For sure.
And
making things up for a living.
Yeah, and I think what's cool about being an artist, whether it's Hollywood or Nashville or whatever, is you just don't know where it's going to come from.
Right.
Like I know a lot of writers are jaded. Oh, there's so many songs, this and that. But you never know when someone's going to hear a song and go, "That's the one."
No,
or someone's going to read your script and go, "Man, where has this been?"
Yeah.
Right.
So you just keep doing it. That's one thing, Jeffrey Steele's become a good friend of mine, and he's a bit of a mentor, and he says, just keep writing.
Yeah.
He goes, the songs will find a home there, but he goes, just keep writing.
Yeah. That's hard for writers to hear, especially when the activity isn't there, at least in the amount that they want it. But then, like you said, you just keep chopping at it, and then something clicks and it finds a way, it finds a home, it finds that vessel that takes it to the next level, and then like, oh yeah, Jeffrey was right.
Yeah. Well, he said something. So it even goes back to the first write with David and Kyle. My style's different. I'm not a Nashville guy per se. And Kyle said, you're bringing something to the table that I don't even think you realize.
Right.
And what, Jeffrey's always said to me, because he goes, you start writing about, pickup trucks and tattoos on the smaller, because that's not where you come from.
Right.
And people are going to sniff it out and just be authentic to who you are as a writer.
That's it.
And that's what's going to differentiate you. And so every idea, that I try to bring in with the guys that you hook me up with or other people that I write with, I have a different way of looking at it. I'm not trying to be Nashville.
No, but with your background and your history and the way you grew up and learned how to do things, your background, when you come to Nashville and write songs, you can bring an alternative view or angle to a song and you present that. And then that might be something like someone like David never would have saw it, but then they're like, hey, that's actually cool. Let's chase that.
Yeah. That's how it's worked. And it's like, it works almost like, I don't think, I brought something in that didn't turn into a song. And that's a pretty cool feeling, but it's just about being honest and not trying to be
right.
Like, I mean, I hear these guys play, country songs, and I go, not in a million years could I even try to write that because it's so honky tonk or whatever.
Sure.
Like, it's just not my style. I'm a Springsteen, Wallflowers He kind of guy.
And that's what I, along with a bunch of other writers, that's what we want. We want something different.
Yeah.
The same, mundane, every day,
Yeah.
gets really old, and you bring a fresh spirit into it, and fresh idea, fresh melody, fresh voice, fresh, point of view. Well, it's like, okay, let's do that for a while.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, but I also appreciate every writer I'm in the room with, because not only is the talent in this town is just, it's beyond belief. The way you guys play, the way you think, the way you put words together. Like, I learn every time I come back here, I go, okay, I got it. I know how they write songs. Honestly, like I've done this, like I've been back a bunch of times in the last couple of years, and each time I leave going, I got it.
Yeah.
And then I go back and I go, I don't got it yet. Like I mean, I got a lot of it.
Sure.
But then I come back and I learn, like,
right.
Like I'm listening to you in the mixing room. I don't know what you're talking about half the time.
Well, he doesn't either.
But I mean, it sounds really
I
official.
throw around maths.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of like a sponge when I'm here, because I know what I don't know. And
what was your first experience to the Nashville number system?
Well,
do they have that same dialect out in
my
LA?
My first experience was I wrote with Clara Henningsen.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, Clara Calaway, and I had never done a demo of a write that I've done here, and I was like, I really want to hear what it sounds like to elevate it into a demo. And she says, yeah, let's do it. This song, we should do it. She goes, I got us a half an hour. And I went, a half an hour? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
She goes, they're really good. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Half an hour?
Yeah. These people, wizards?
I mean, I gotta find 6 guys. The mixer, the whole thing. So we go in there and it was with Ilya and the boys there. And he goes, all right, let me hear it. So she puts her iPhone on the table and plays the work tape that we recorded. And he just starts writing numbers down. And I'm looking at him. He's having a conversation over here going, what are you doing this week?
Yeah.
And I'm going, he's going to miss the bridge.
Yeah.
And right? and
those guys are incredible.
And I saw the numbers.
And you're like, what is all this?
What is this? Yeah. It's like hieroglyphics.
It's exactly what it looks like.
I don't understand it. But, he gave it to all the guys. We walked out of there with a song that sounded...
They walk in the studio and they bang it out in 3 minutes. Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's amazing. For people that don't know what we're talking about, it's the Nashville number system. It makes it easier to change keys for the players.
Right.
I think is one of the big reasons that it was created. But each...
so like a number represents a chord.
A number represents a chord. So, but each, I mean, if the song is an A will be the 1, B, C, D. D is the 4, and the 5 is E. Now, if you go in, you're like, man, I don't like it in the key of A. They don't have to write another music chart out. They just look at the same numbers and just change the letter at the top. So now it's in G, which C is the 4, and D is the 5. It's basic music. It's basic music theory.
So it's very
You look at a
confusing to
piano. You play piano. Look at a piano. Look at middle C. What's the 2?
When I play piano,
from
I
that?
have decals that tell me what note I'm playing.
Okay,
Not
never mind. No, it's just you look at a piano and like C is the 1.
Yeah.
1. D would be the 2 minor. The 3 would be E, and the 4 would be F. You know.
I mean, if you say so.
Yeah.
You
When
need,
they
like-
start saying like, "Oh yeah, that's the 4 minor 7th,"
Yeah.
you're
Well,
like, "What?"
Yeah.
I can't wrap my head around
Yeah.
it, but I'm not a musician either, so I don't even
A
pretend.
5
like I know what
over
you're talking
7. You know, it's easy. It's F over D.
about. Then you get all the diamonds in there, and
Well, diamond is just stopping,
right,
but letting it ring.
yeah.
Ching, you know.
Well, the first time
It's sprinkles. It's diamonds. It's
Sprinkles.
sparklies.
the first time I got one, the first time we did one of these, I took the chart.
You framed it. You're like,
I was going to have it framed. Now I'm just like, now after doing a bunch of demos, I'm like, I'm going to throw it in the garbage.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Right.
but it's,
well, the first one's always the most special.
yeah, it sure is.
Most is special.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
It's getting sexy in here.
It is. It got hot, dude.
Man, that sun beating through the window. Just don't. You forgot to put the shade down.
So when you came out of the closet
So,
back in
what?
2011, right?
The conservative
closet.
for clarification.
Wait, hang on.
Do you still have to hide your political beliefs, or can you float around more freely?
Well, I'll tell you, when I come here, I can float around more freely.
so you still fly under
you
the radar a
flit.
little bit.
Yeah.
You flit when you're
Well,
around
I'll tell
here.
you-
Flit.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Sachets.
I was asked a question.
Shante.
I'll tell you where I have to fly under the radar is dating.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
It's
We
insane.
talked
Yeah.
about
It's
this.
absolutely insane. And you know,
Breitbart just started dating it.
you can't even like.
Wow.
It,
I like it.
It wouldn't get much play in L.A. I'll
I
tell
think
you
it's
that
called
much.
farmersonly.com.
Christian mingle.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, here's a sample of a date. So what do you do? Me. Oh shit.
Do you want to know the full story,
Yeah.
or do you want to know what I can tell you?
Here's how it goes down. I'm in the media. What kind of media? Oh shit. I lean to the right. If you say Breitbart, I'm leaving.
Are you serious?
That is a true story from a date I had.
Really?
If you say Breitbart, I'm leaving.
That's a
And you're
true.
like,
I said to her, that was in the first 5 minutes, and I said, "Well, you better get rolling."
You kind of run the place.
Yeah.
adios.
Yes.
Yeah.
She stuck around for a couple hours.
Did she?
I can't imagine. Because
It's hard out there.
we don't have that here. I mean, not a lot of people talk about it. It's like we said earlier. But I can't, you know, I mean,
Well, what I found here is that, you know, in addition to a lot of people welcoming that I work at Breitbart, even the people that don't agree are able to have a more cordial conversation than LA. LA
Yeah.
is insane.
yeah.
And if you support Trump, it's even worse.
Yeah.
And that's like a deal breaker for everybody. And like,
Sure.
even if you come back with logic and you say, well, I vote policies,
Yeah.
Right.
it doesn't matter.
They don't want to hear that.
They don't want
I
to hear
mean, you could write down the policies on one side and one on the other.
Yeah, they
and
wouldn't even know.
They wouldn't. I honestly don't know if I would know.
Yeah.
You know?
That I'm sure of.
Yeah. I can't read. I make sounds well, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your spelling isn't the greatest.
It's not at all. I autocorrect helps.
Does it?
Yeah. It's finally stopped autocorrecting to duck, you know?
Uh-huh.
It gave
It finally
up.
gave up.
Yeah.
It's like I did it like 100 times in a row one time just so the AI would finally catch up.
Yeah.
I think it has.
Yeah.
NVIDIA. Go get some NVIDIA stuff.
I'm never trying to say ducking. Just know
No,
that.
never. I've never once wanted to say ducking.
Yeah.
I rarely want to say duck
Right.
unless I'm talking about, you know, white farm ducks taking a bath on a pond. I don't know.
Do you do that often?
No.
I mean, who doesn't?
It's
White ducks?
yeah, it's Jenna's mom and dad. They're bless their heart. They're wonderful people from Rockford, Illinois, and her mom is just the cutest thing ever. But she's very quirky, and I guess they were driving one time, and she was like, "Oh, look at that white farm duck taking a bath on that pond." And they're varying animals, but it was not, in fact, a white farm duck taking a bath on the pond. It was a sprinkler on the pond.
Oh,
So yeah,
that's fun.
yeah, it's a good story, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I'm glad you shared that with the class.
They helped us do the cabinets at our house.
Can't wait to hear the podcast just to hear that story again.
Yeah.
Hey, you got a long
Where do
flight
you
back to L.A.
Where do you stay when you come? You get Airbnbs?
Yeah.
We hate you, by the way, for that.
Why?
It's terrible people.
Well, I stay at this apartment I always stay at over in Hillsborough because I can walk here, and
You walk from Hillsborough
That's
to
a
here?
long walk, man.
sometimes Hillsborough
But
Village.
that's a long walk. Do you walk in LA a lot?
Yeah, I try to.
Yeah. I mean, you don't like take taxis and you have a car. You have a car?
I do know how to drive. Yeah.
You do know how to
I
drive?
have a car.
You have a car. I saw you drive a car once.
Yeah, I got a car here.
John drive.
But sometimes,
Yeah.
if you go out, around
Yeah.
this area and you hit it too hard, I walk back.
What are your favorite places you like to hit up when you're in
Yeah.
town?
Where do you like to hit?
Well, I haven't done too much of the social things since I've been here. I'm looking to up that game a bit, but I like this place you guys go to occasionally. This little cool speakeasy place.
Oh, the Patterson House?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a cool place.
I've been in there once, I think.
I don't know. You guys have any recommendations?
I go home now.
Really?
Yeah. I find that home is better for me personally.
I mean, we spent many hours in the Tin Roof over there on Tomberlin.
Yeah.
So much so they gave us a table
Yeah.
Is that right?
with our names on it.
We actually had it. Is that where we hung out one time? I feel like we had a.
It's very possible.
Yeah, I think we had a meal there once.
100% could be possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, we that was our after spot place.
It's weird. It's a weird place because I haven't found a social life here where, I mean, it feels like everybody, like most people die at age 26. Like there's nobody older than 26. Like, you know what I mean? It's like the weirdest thing. I'm like, where are the adults?
Yeah.
But I guess you got to go out.
Where are the adults?
Well, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, there's always the
They're watching
bachelorette
their-
parties and like all these things.
They're taking their walks and watching their stories, you know?
Exactly. I don't know. So, yeah.
Are you going to partake in any of the CMA Fest stuff this week?
Oh, God.
Well, I'm going to the big Curb event.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
coming?
yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited about that. We should get backstage passes, shouldn't we?
Yeah, that's. I mean, I think Colt promised me that when I decided to come on the podcast.
Did
Well,
he?
I asked Benson, and he wasn't into that idea.
I know,
But
I heard
maybe
it.
he's going to hook you up.
I
Benson
don't think
said
so.
no.
He said it was pretty crowded. I don't know.
Man, John, I don't know.
Did he
What the-
really say it's really crowded?
I didn't. No, I didn't. We didn't get into it. I don't want to.
That's fine.
Hang him out, but yes,
You would think that Colt would have that power.
you
that
would
could
think
make
Colt
that
would have
happen.
that power.
You would be
You know.
surprised by how much little power I have.
How much no power? Are you like high C?
Yeah.
No juice?
No juice.
That's funny in my head.
All squeeze, no juice.
Oh, yeah. What do you do in LA when you're out there not pissing people off? Where do you go?
Pissing off all the liberal women.
I drove in LA this past year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to play a show in Santa Maria.
Yeah.
So Jen and I flew out to LA and rented a car and drove.
Appreciate the call.
Man. Oh, man. You were
Are you in
I
LA
think.
proper-ish, or do you live on the outskirts?
I kind of live by the beach.
By the beach?
Pacific Palisades.
Santa Monica, huh?
Yeah, Pacific Palisades.
Pacific. I don't know where that is.
It's kind of by Santa Monica.
It's alliteration.
between
though.
Santa Monica and Malibu.
Malibu. We Malibu.
Malibu.
We drove up the PCH.
Yeah.
And went through Malibu. Nice people.
Yeah.
Very nice people. I mean, I didn't get out of the car going, I'm a raging conservative,
Yeah.
and they would hate me, like you would say. But
I'm from Kentucky.
We walked in this coffee shop, and she was like, oh my God, you're from Appalachia, or however they say it wrong.
Yeah.
Appalachia. I'm like,
Appalachia.
no, I am, but no. Appalachia.
Did she treat you like you were
They
special?
treated me wonderful.
Yeah.
Those people were so nice out there.
Good.
Especially when you got up in Santa Maria, because it's out in the middle of nowhere.
That's
Bless-
a ways away. from
Yeah,
LA.
it's a haul.
It's a couple hours, isn't it?
Yeah, we stayed in Santa Barbara.
Oh, nice.
Got to see Ben Margulies, who wrote all the first Mariah Carey stuff, and he moved to Santa Barbara years ago when he bought a house and a studio, and it was cool. He's got a nice little setup out there, Montecito.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
yeah.
place. That's the
yeah. It's
place.
where Oprah has her 800 or 80 square, 80 acre ranch or something right in the middle of Montecito.
Yeah.
The most expensive land in the world.
And Prince Harry and what's Meghan.
Yeah. We drove around looking for him.
Yeah. Did you find
Yeah.
him?
No.
That's not creepy. at
Found a
all.
lot
Not
of
at
streets
all.
we had to turn around in. But we did. Jenna Googled what Oprah's thing was, and we drove past it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Yeah. We did a touristy thing.
When you and I first met,
When you and I first
was
met.
that the first time you came to Nashville?
I think it was. Yeah, it was. I think so. I think
So what were your thoughts of Nashville then?
It's so much different now.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be, I know you guys are tired of the Californians coming out here, but
Just a little bit.
It is the kind of place where I could see myself.
Yeah.
I just back then I didn't fully appreciate it because I wasn't immersed in California, LA, it's all gone downhill.
Yeah.
But you come
It's
out.
changed a lot in both places.
Yeah. Well, Nashville too. I mean,
Yeah.
I hadn't been back in a year until recently, and the traffic's insane.
It's getting a lot worse.
A little bit edgier.
Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to talk about the traffic in Nashville? You want to talk about that we took over Forbes @1 worst traffic in
It can't
the
be worse
nation?
it can't be worse than LA.
We've got #1.
Is that right?
Yeah, Forbes. You have at least you have 18 lanes on each side.
Yeah, except that in LA, like I had to go into Hollywood, and I live on the west side of town. It's about 11 miles. It took me 90 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
That's how bad it is.
I live 7 miles away.
You would die of a stress-induced heart attack.
I couldn't go out. I couldn't get on 4 wheels or 2 wheels or wheels. I live 7 miles down the road, and it takes me 45 minutes to get home
right?
sometimes. Yeah. Yeah.
That's no good.
It's about
exciting.
It's great. Like I've got an anxiety attack right now about it being 5 o'clock.
Is that right?
And I have to drive through traffic. I go back roads and it takes longer just so I don't have to start and stop.
Yeah, that helps
I put my
sometimes.
windows down and I'm like, I'm going to put on Spa Channel and I'm going to have fun with this drive.
Sometimes you would rather drive 5 extra miles just to get home quicker.
100, I would like to drive 5 extra miles to not have to be angry and have a stroke at people.
Kind of stuck on the
Because
Spa Channel.
they
What's the Spa Channel?
on Sirius XM,
Is that
it's spa music.
soothing kind of thing?
Yeah, like we'll put it on sometimes. I'll listen to classical channel when I'm in my car.
He does actually got in his car one time.
Yeah. Like, why do you listen to that? So I don't kill people on the road.
Yeah.
A little bot comes on. I'm like transported back to 1774.
It's either the
or
comedy
whenever,
channel or
1582.
classical. Yeah.
Comedy channel I like a lot too. I'm a big fan. I found Theo Vaughn. That was my first experience with him, was on one of those comedy channels on Sirius, and you of course introduced him to all my friends, and he's blown up now. But
Oh, yeah.
I died on the way home one time. He was talking about 30-pound bag of hamster bones. It's like wrangling
Have you ever
chips
listened
out
to Theo?
behind.
No,
Oh,
I'm a Tom
God.
Segura guy.
Tom Segura's
great.
great too.
Yeah.
They were great on the roast, the Tom Brady roast.
Yeah.
The Machine and him were great. I listen to Tom Segura, and I listen to comedians in the shower too.
I listen to
sounds
comedians
weird.
to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Always, 100%. Because just kind of,
Yeah.
my life is a little bit, I got a lot of heavy stuff going on with me, getting into politics and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
At night, I want to just
Freeze the mind.
and check out.
Oh.
and
I always
do
listen to
something
comedy
lighter.
to stay awake when I'm driving on a long
Yeah.
road trip. Something about the stories, but then the comedic element that makes you laugh and
Yeah.
helps keep me awake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually just don't drive when I'm tired.
Sometimes I just don't have a choice, David.
Sometimes I just fly because I'm not a weirdo.
Yeah.
How do you guys think Nashville's changed?
How?
Yeah. Cool. Other than just the development, the people change?
Dude,
Yes.
a little bit. I think I am in such a bubble of friends and coworkers that it hasn't changed as much in my circles. I mean, of course, the people have gotten younger for the most part because a lot of people have moved away. But I moved here in 1998, and this town there was like 2 skyscrapers. It was the LNC Tower and the Batman building were the 2 big tall towers. And I look at it now. I swear to God, I'm not being hyperbolic. I look driving sometimes. I'm like, where did that building come from? It was not there
No,
yesterday.
I do the same thing. I'm like, when did that building get put up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I drove down West End today, and I'm like, what are those?
Yeah.
It's just, it almost changes under our noses.
Yeah, I remember one time I looked out here in my office, and all these buildings are built now, but there's literally 16 cranes I could see just building all these different buildings right out here. And that was just this section of Nashville.
At one point, we had 10% of the world's cranes. I think it was 10 or
right?
15% of the world.
Yeah.
Not the nation, the world's cranes here in Nashville.
Is it slowing down at all?
It's not slowing down at all.
No.
You've got hundreds of people moving here.
I mean,
And that's at least 1 car apiece.
it's a great place. I do love the people but again, I'm in a bubble of cool people. So
sure. Yes.
It's but it's just such a creative town.
Yeah, I don't think all the outsiders moving here, because Nashville is already kind of a melting pot city anyway. But I don't think the major influx of new people has changed a lot. But, you know, there are benefits. We've got a lot of new, nicer hotels, a lot of amazing restaurants, which is great because there only used to be like a handful of good spots to eat around here. And they're probably even that
billions
great.
of dollars in tourism.
Yeah.
I mean, Nashville basically pays for the state.
Yeah.
Because I have people close to me that do Nashville, or do Tennessee tourism. And it's like they bring in so much money. Nashville basically pays for the rest of the state to have good stuff.
Nice.
And we don't have
nice
state
highways.
income tax for that main reason right there. Nashville serves a great purpose. It's a wonderful place. I don't want anybody to move here anymore or bring your car. If you move here, it's fine.
Yeah,
just don't bring your car.
No cars.
Okay.
Take a Uber. Use the systems that we have. Ride that little train to Murfreesboro. I don't know.
Call David. He'll drive you.
Man, I may be
Then you
driving
got to listen to spa music.
Yeah.
spa or classical. I don't know. I enjoy it. Yeah.
Have you seen any changes from your first visit to most recently that you've enjoyed or maybe not enjoyed?
You know, it's. I think when I first got here, the California was kind of a novelty, and people were more welcoming. Now I hesitate when I go, yeah, I'm from California. It's like, you're not moving here, are you? Like, I mean, it's pretty much the next question. But you know,
Thanks for paying all the big prices for homes.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And
Overpayers.
exactly.
Yeah.
Sight unseen, from what I hear too. But
Oh, I've seen that.
you know, for me personally, it's like I've gotten to know the city better, and I've gotten more and more friends.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel more comfortable here often than I do in LA.
Yeah.
So
I felt so uncomfortable in LA.
it's not.
And there's no reason for it.
Well, there is, because, you know, the people there, they're not, it's, you know, I'm a character guy, and there's not a ton of character out there. Everybody wants something. I know that's here too, but
Well,
I think it's really, really big out there.
yeah, I mean, it's so transactional out there.
I've had some friends, like big, like guys that were huge in rock, that were, you know, their bands were huge. I won't say their names on air, but it was weird getting to know them because they were so guarded and just didn't want to open up. And finally they were like, okay, you don't want anything from me, so I can be friends with you.
Right.
I'm like, dude, I don't care who you are or what you do. I like you as a person. I just want to hang out, you know? And we became really good friends after that. But there's been a few people, it's like, they will not let you in.
Yeah, you know, it's weird. So it's a different arena, but like Andrew Breitbart, he was the kind of guy who saw a bigger picture. And so if he saw that you had a skill Colt and you needed it, he'd go, you guys, here, I'll connect you right now.
Right.
And it's because he knew that there was something bigger at stake. And that's, in LA, everybody keeps their stuff very guarded.
Yeah.
I know that happens here too, but, you know, everybody's been like, you know, it seems to me that it's a little bit more where people are excited to introduce you, and then you introduce, oh, you should meet, you know,
Right.
kind of like what we're doing tomorrow with this special.
Sure. Yeah,
Like, you know,
what we're doing tomorrow.
You're,
Yeah.
look for an email.
It's fine. I'll fax it to you.
Look for an email.
Make sure your
fax it
fax
to you.
machine-
Call you on the landline there, guy. Got my rotary phone. Why did I go to,
Was that Canadian?
I don't know, Wisconsin or
Wisconsin?
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Philadelphia? What? That's not Philadelphia. Cheesesteaks.
David, what's your favorite color?
Dump truck.
Yeah.
All right. This is devolving quickly.
What do you got going on right now that you're excited about? Let's talk about that.
Well, I got a sort of a big few months. This trip is good.
Yeah.
A lot of, like I said, we did a few demos today. I had to write. Got this thing tomorrow. Curb thing on Thursday. I go home. Next week I go back to LA, and then I fly to Pennsylvania to sing for the veterans.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
And then following week I go to Montana. We're doing a political thing there, and then I go to the Republican National Convention after
the
that
RNC.
Where is that?
in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I've never been, but so it's a busy couple months.
Milwaukee's a cool town.
Yeah.
Yeah. The airport's really, really easy to get in and out of.
I got to fly into Chicago.
Oh God, no!
Which is not easy.
O'Hare or Midway.
O'Hare.
Oh, I hate them places.
Yeah.
Dude, we could fly to we'll fly to Milwaukee, rent a car, and drive down to Rockford because it's northern part of the state.
Right.
For Christmas to Jenna. When we one of the last times we went to Chicago is like the whole airport shut down at one point, and we were there for a while. Yeah. And there's some people there that I don't ever need to see again. It's so strange. Yeah. Don't like it. Don't like it. Don't like the airports there. Not a fan.
I got a musical question for you, Colt.
Go ahead.
On both of you guys.
Go ahead.
How do you guys feel like the music's changed here in Nashville? Like, what has it changed?
Well, for me, the country has always been a very wide spectrum, from super country stuff, from like George Strait to really poppy stuff for like, I guess you could say like Taylor Swift before she went pop, that kind of stuff. But even now with what a cool thing that's happening is with Beyonce doing her air quote country album, it's really shined a light on, a lot of the black artists here in town that have already been here. And so you're seeing people like Shabuzi blow up with his new song, which is, it's not really country, but the sound is country. He's got fiddles on there and stuff, and it's cool. But I don't know, you're just seeing a big mixture of music. Yeah. From Luke Combs to Lainey Wilson, who's blowing up. She's doing her thing. But then you're seeing a whole new
Post Malone
subgenre. Post Malone breaking in. A whole new subgenre of people who are coming to Nashville and making kind of a newer sound, and people seem to be resonating with it. So
I dig a lot of it. Yeah. I do. I mean, some of it I don't like.
You don't have to like
it. But I'm open to everything. I mean, I listen to everything from gangster rap to classical, Right. I have a musical taste bud that's huge. I don't care if it's good, it's good. And that music for me in Nashville has evolved. Yeah. I think there's still some core things that we have in our genre that are going to be there. It's like we talked about today. We are a very lyric based, genre.
Over time, what you consider country is interesting because I remember like when Shania Twain first came on the scene, everyone was like, this isn't country, this is pop. Right. And here we are like 30 years later, like, oh, that's country.
That seems like,
Florida Georgia Line broke on the scene with Cruise, and everyone's like, oh, that's not country, that's pop rock music. Right. You look back now, 10 years later, like, oh, that's country. Yeah. So we're just kind of in this new era of music where it's evolving, and 10 years from now we'll look back on and be like, oh, that's country, and there's no telling what music's going to be like.
I bet it's going to go circles. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be bell bottoms all over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the 90s sound is really making a comeback right now.
Very much so.
I'm seeing a lot more of that too.
That's interesting because that's sort of that's where I come from.
Yeah.
And it's even like, I mean, Petty. Like even what we did today.
Yeah, we did it started out, they were like, what do you want the song to go? I'm like, Petty. It's Tom Petty. It's the barometer for everything that's cool. Yeah. If it's cool, if it's Petty cool, it's cool. And they started out playing, and it was basically learning to fly. And I'm like, maybe we should not get that close to it.
Oh, someone sent me a thing comparing the new Post Malone Morgan Wallen song with the Tom Petty song. And
learning
it's
to fly.
Oh,
it's 100%.
The new song?
Go listen to Tom Petty, and then go listen to I Had Some Help.
Oh, really? Interesting.
And you're going to be like, oh.
I mean, down to almost copying the lick.
It's super catchy, I got to say.
Well, it ought to be. Yeah. We've heard it a long time.
I like the song and nothing against it, but then when you A and B it, you're like, oh, okay. Well, good luck with that guy.
Yeah.
There's an artist that I got turned on to who I think is really cool and
David Tolliver.
David Tolliver.
Yeah, Halfway to Hazard.
Yeah. No. In addition to David Tolliver, a guy named Steven Wilson Jr.
Yeah.
Do you guys know him?
Yeah, he's great.
Really interesting. Kind of a unique voice.
Yeah, he's very different, but he's really, really cool.
And he's starting to do some stuff, it seems like. So.
He's doing some stuff.
He's mad because he's number 2.
It's fine. I've always been number 2. Like poo. I don't. I don't know, man. I'm just excited about getting in traffic right now.
So when you go to places like Montana and in Milwaukee, what is your role there that you're doing?
Well, in in Montana, I'm sort of facilitating an interview
Okay.
with somebody.
Yeah.
And then
Is it John Dutton?
the RNC,
He's the governor.
the RNC, I'm in management.
Okay.
So I'm kind of a, sort of an ambassador of the company. But
Can
Yeah.
we get backstage passes?
you should ask Colt.
I have nothing to do with the RNC.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's fine.
I don't know that backstage at the RNC is a real
I heard it's
badge of stature.
party
It's just
time.
like,
I heard it gets wild back there.
you know what that reminds me of? Like so when I got into politics a bit, it's like every time you switch genres in your career, or whatever, like, you get not stars in your eyes, but you get excited about it.
Sure.
Like, I had some cool meetings in Hollywood during that time.
Yeah.
Like, I had a meeting with Brad Pitt once, and it's like super interesting. And you're like, then I get into politics, and like the guys that are taking me around Capitol Hill, I'm like, oh my God, there's Rick Santorum. I was like, dude, you met with Brad Pitt. What do you give a shit about Rick Santorum?
Who's better
like,
looking?
I mean, but I was like,
Yeah.
I was seeing all these.
Who's hotter?
Rick Santorum, for sure.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt was, frankly, I mean, this is going to sound bad, and you're going to make fun of me, but hard to talk to.
Yeah.
Just to look at him.
He's so good.
look him in
He's
the
so
eyes.
good looking that you just go. I mean, it's like I remember I met him. We were, they have those back lots on the that look like New York on all the studios.
Yeah.
And I met him on a stoop, and we were talking. So he's like, we're out in front of a fake brownstone. And he's like, so tell me about your projects. And I'm like, you're the most beautiful man I've ever seen. I'm like, I don't even know what I told him. I just couldn't, he was all made up. He just come from a photo shoot. And I was like,
I couldn't say I wouldn't be the same way.
I mean, it's like, you just go, man, oh man.
He's one of them dudes that I'd probably lay down with. I mean,
Yeah.
Would you hug him laying down?
I'd hug him laying down. Me and
That's what it was.
Ryan Reynolds, I'd probably hug laying down.
Yeah.
There's certain dudes that evolve above sex and gender and everything. It's like, I'm going. Let's go. Brad.
Sounds like you've got quite a list going.
That's fun.
He's thought about this already, which is interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Didn't hesitate with Ryan Reynolds.
No, that dude's gorgeous. Yeah. He's funny. I mean,
That's your perfect combo.
it
Hot and
really
funny.
is hot and funny.
No.
That's why I'm with Jenna.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's,
So what else is going on, man?
really, I think I've covered a lot of ground.
You've covered quite a bit.
I don't know. What more are you looking for from
I
me?
don't know. Where can people find you?
Oh. Is that like an Instagram plug kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or you could say LA.
At Jon Kahn Music, JON KAHN.
The
Music.
worst of all Johns, J-O-N Johns.
Thanks. And
It's the John that tried.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or look for me. The spelling's tricky, but
You have just dropped the ball with these handles. It should be John the Wrath of Khan.
Oh man.
Come on.
You could probably still change it.
The lack of originality with the Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
I mean-
It's not original.
I've heard Shaka, Kubla, Genghis, all of it.
No, the Wrath of Khan.
You like that better?
Yeah.
Different
it's-
spelling. You realize that?
I don't care. It says it's a homophone.
But that's what makes it cool.
Can you
Yeah.
change it? Can you change your Instagram handle? to
Yeah, I
the
think as
Wrath of
long as it's
Yeah.
not taken, you can change it to.
You may lose your check mark if you have one. I think you. I don't either.
I
They
don't-
won't
I
give
don't
me
need
one.
a check mark to know
They
that
won't
I'm
take
legit.
down my imposters, and they won't give me a check mark. It's very annoying.
Do you have
It's-
imposters?
Oh my God. I have, there's like 10, 12 fake accounts on each social platform, and I'll tell Instagram about it. Like, well, I mean, it'll be me, all my pictures, and messaging people that they're messaging me. Like, is this you? I'm like, no, it's not me.
What is that scam exactly? They're trying to get
I don't
information from
know.
people.
But
People are bored.
yeah, and I'll hit up Instagram and be like, hey, this person is pretending to be me. And they're like, well, we don't see any problem with it.
Okay.
I'm surprised you've got an answer from Instagram.
Yeah.
It's like a lockbox.
Like, well, I'm sure it's just a can, phrase. They don't care. Until they see a check mark or something beside your name, they don't care about me.
Right.
I'm nobody.
I care about you.
I thank you. I appreciate it. So, Instagram, fix me.
Yeah.
Look at this Instagram.
What is this wheel thing that I've been warned about?
Oh, in a world, there's a wheel
Is this something we have to deal with?
of shame.
Oh, yes.
I hear there's one I don't want.
You got to spin it, Daddy Bear. Then you got to do smelling salts.
I'm spending this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Give it a big
Here
whirl
we go.
there.
We need some theme music. What'd you land on?
Pinche pendejo.
My writing's not the best.
Oh no, you can't you can't turn it. What?
999.
Oh, how do you feel about the Nazis?
Not good.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Oh
God, what's happening?
don't worry about it, man. You sit back and enjoy yourself.
Are you guys joining me with this, or is this a solo effort?
This is you and Colt.
Okay.
I don't partake in the drinky drink anymore, John.
Colt's joining me, though.
And Colt is definitely joining you. And you enjoy this.
Is this on a scale of 1 to 10? How does this rate?
The suck meter?
Yeah.
You're at a good 8.5.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Enjoy. It's
Yeah,
really not.
So
the first-
999. This is a little German product we call Rumpelminz.
Yeah. You never
But,
9999.
it's like mouthwash.
Yeah.
Just shoot it down.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, this is gonna be good right here. Come on down there. Good job, guys. Good job.
Yeah.
I can hang with that.
Now.
Now the fun begins.
No, I thought that was it. I thought I
No.
I thought I had to land on something.
No.
See, this has become the new Twangtown initiation.
You guys are killing me.
Yeah. Everybody's done it.
So have you ever done smelling salts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not by choice, but yeah.
Okay. Well, we have this little fun product called the Atomic Rhino. So what you're going to do, I'm going to take the lid off. You're just going to hold it right here and go, and that's it.
That's it. That's all you got to do.
Am I gonna faint or anything?
No.
All right.
No.
It's going to make you very, very
You're
excited.
not going to faint.
You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Get a big deep breath in with your nose.
I think you just transported.
Man. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Woo.
Can I have another one?
Yeah, you can have all you want.
I'm good. I'm good.
We had Jared Mullins on here. It did not affect him at
No.
all. He did it several times. Like
He would just
nothing,
sit and smell,
nothing.
just stick his
Nothing.
nose
What is
in it.
It's smelling salts. Just
It's basically just
Atomic Rhino
boiled
smelling
down
salts.
ammonia.
Yeah, just fermented cat piss.
You know,
You don't have to get it real close.
no. The first time we did it, where I got it right up in here,
We didn't know what we were doing.
didn't know what we were doing, and I gave it a big heave, and my left eye fell out, landed in my lap. I had to shove it back in with some super glue,
Good times.
Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
You know,
All right, so I passed the test.
you passed the test.
All right.
You're
You
initiated.
did well.
Man.
You're
Go
part of the
find-
Twang Town.
Go find Jon Kahn
All right.
somewhere.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me.
Dude, thank you for being here. Thank you for being an awesome person. I know we give you a lot of shit, but you're a great dude, and we dig you.
Right back
And we're
at
happy you're back here, and come back more, please.
you. Copy that.
Nashville needs you. Woo, yeah, LA is something. I don't know. I try to make up. I'm not a songwriter.
You're not.
Not at all.
I think the 999 is hitting me hard.
999.
Yeah, that's 100 proof, whatever that is.
We got to give him one sound effect. I mean, thank you, Jon Kahn.
Thank you for coming on. I think it's this one.
Thank you.
Yes. Where can they find us, Talbrewski?
Yes, we're available on all streaming platforms. You can follow us on Facebook,
like.
Instagram, Twitter.
Donate,
Like, subscribe, share,
share,
follow,
send us money.
all the things.
I like money.
David wants money.
Yeah, we need sponsors. Sponsor us, people.
Yeah. Come on.
Sponsor D's. No. Welcome. Thank you, guys. Thank you, John.
Bye, everybody.
See you
Thanks, fella.
later.